Hey there, welcome back to Melanie Loves Death Metal. Gonna do a little bit of a different video today. Gonna finally upload my second episode of the podcast. Unfortunately, I completely forgot about this series. And the first one I think I released was in January, so I'm a month late. I was trying to do this every month, but unfortunately February got away from me. As always, I got busy with work and life. Yeah, so this series, I've reached out to a couple people. I think we're going to start having some guests on for a podcast series. It might not be every month. It might be as they're available and we're able to record. And it'll be solely based around, sorry, my computer just did a thing. It's driving me nuts. Solely based around probably bands, like specific albums that we love and some stuff in the news and stuff like that. But yeah, I'm still working on it. But today I figured I would do a podcast and talk about some of my frequently asked questions that I've been getting a lot lately, especially on Instagram. Instagram, I'm definitely a lot more talkative, I guess. I don't know, collaborative, communicative. I don't know. I have a ton of like group chats and people message me a lot, and I post stories and talk with people through there. But I get a lot of questions from time to time on comments and stuff. So I went through and I searched through a couple of videos and pulled out some comments and put them on a Google Doc. And then I realized after I did that I should have just screenshotted the username so you would know this is your question, but maybe for the next one. I did an FAQ a long time ago. I think it might have been really early into the year last year. And that was pretty well perceived. So I figured, oh, I'll do another one today. I'll talk a little bit longer into the front of the camera and yeah, so happy Friday. It is release Friday. It is Bandcamp Friday. So go out there, spend some monies, because all the proceeds go directly to the band and the artist. They do this once a month, every first Friday of the month. I think is this the first one of the year? I can't remember. But I'm glad that the Bandcamp is still doing it. I've got some shit in my throat. It's driving me nuts. Anyway, what's new with me? A lot of things. I just, not in the best headspace right now, going through a bit of a rut in terms of depression and stuff. I don't really enjoy my day-to-day in terms of my work and what I'm doing. But I'm trying to make that better. My motivation has been a little bit lacking in regards to making content for that reason. It's shit. I don't know what the fuck my camera is doing, but it keeps zooming in and out. It's driving me nuts. Stop it. Stop it, camera. Just stop. So yeah, not a whole lot. Been really enjoying the heavy metallurgy streams lately. So if you're not there on Friday nights, you should be. The last stream that they did was all about the Saxon albums. Saxon deep dive, and if you're familiar with Saxon, there's like 23, 24 albums. It was fun. I'm pretty much only familiar with like the first 4 or 6 albums, and then after that I just never really came back and got into it. But after that stream, I've been on a huge Saxon deep dive, and I've been listening to a bunch of their newer albums and stuff that I've never really paid much attention to. And yeah, new wave of British heavy metal. I really do love heavy metal music. I don't talk about it a whole lot on this channel because death metal. But I might start doing a couple of series here and there where I talk about it, because I do really like it. I mean, it's the foundation, of a lot of the music that I listen to. So hence the nice pop figure, and then obviously King Diamond, just because I have King Diamond hanging on my wall. But yeah, all right, so let's go ahead and get started. So the number one question that I have, let me pull up my document because I just realized I don't have it open. I was not prepared. Was what made you decide on your YouTube channel name? Yeah, so there's really no story around this. This was just my personal YouTube account that I used to like watch videos. It was primarily used to watch like death metal videos and listen to music and follow the labels and the bands and stuff like that. So it kind of was just a joke. It was just one day like 10 years ago when I first created this account, maybe even longer. I think it's been even longer than that. I would just, it's like, hey, I really love death metal. Melanie loves death metal. That's really no fun story around it. I just never changed it when I started uploading videos. Although, to be honest with you, I kind of wish I had changed it before I started uploading videos, because now, like, yeah, I love death metal, and yes, it is probably 90% of the music that I listen to on a daily basis. It is my favorite metal genre. But I kind of wish I had changed it to like something different, like Melanie loves music, to be honest with you, where I could really upload and focus a lot on other music genres too, in metal, especially like thrash and stuff like that, heavy metal, power metal, speed metal, all the metals, or just Melanie loves metal. And I've contemplated changing my name here and there, and I've also thought about maybe creating another channel that is not focused around metal music, because I do listen to a lot of music that is not metal music as well, and we will get to that later on in the episode because that is a common question. But yeah, there's really no story around it. I've always just, I just kept it, and when I started uploading videos, I did not expect my channel to get any sort of like followers or backing, to be honest with you. I just thought I'd be one of those channels that gets like 10 views a video, and I was very wrong. Um, and so, but yeah, I just, I kept it, whatever. It's pretty much my brand. That's what people know me as now. So it's here. I'm happy with it for now. But yeah, I might actually create another YouTube channel. When I have a little bit more spare time, which I do not have any right now, I might actually start dedicating another YouTube channel to some music that's more of around the classics, of music just in general, not just death metal. Because I really do just in general have a passion for music as a whole. I don't just love death metal. So yeah. All right. So the next question that I get frequently, and I actually saw several people ask me this, was, what is my favorite format to collect, CD or vinyl? And they did not put tapes in there. So I objectively love vinyl. I just like having the bigger picture of the album artwork. I like having the physical record in my hand. I love putting it on my turntable and listening to it. There's something around it that I prefer. However, I do really enjoy CDs. CDs is very nostalgic to me. That's what I collected when I was younger, and that was what was popular when I was younger. I used to have a ton of CDs, and been thinking, I've been going back and forth a lot in my head of really, really downsizing my vinyl collection and only keeping like the albums that I absolutely love, and then just going fully fledged only buying CDs for like new releases, and then like limiting vinyl to like, what I've been doing about finding my death metal gems and my gems and stuff like that, just for money purposes too. Vinyl is really expensive now. The price markups on it are insane, and tapes are starting to get that way now too. Like, I have a bit of a gripe here. If a tape is the same price as a CD, come on now. Like, that's insane. Like, the tape prices are starting to get a little crazy too. Like, a couple of pages, and I'm not going to call out who, on Bandcamp today, were releasing things that I really wanted, and the CD was $15 and the tape was like $13. Yeah, it's a $2 difference and stuff like that, but when you buy a lot, like, that becomes an issue after a while, especially on top of shipping. Shipping for media mail for a tape or a CD or a vinyl by itself, it's about £1. It's usually like between $3 and $4. Some people charge like $6, $7 just for one tape or CD, and so that becomes a thing. Like, you start to think about that. Like, yeah, this tape is only $13, but tack on that shipping, and that becomes an issue. Same thing with vinyl. And I get the markup on shipping because it's for, stuff to like packing stuff, like bubble mailers, tape, stuff like supplies, packing supplies. Like, that's where they try to gain some of that money back and stuff like that. But anyway, just went off on a tangent. I prefer to collect vinyl, but it's just gotten so insanely expensive. Props to 20 Buck Spin for not overpricing their stuff. They keep it in the $20 range. I don't ever spend more than $30 altogether with shipping. I really appreciate that they're able to do that. I know that inflation, stuff like that is a thing. They're trying to make a profit off of their pressings and stuff like that. But like the new cattle decapitation, okay, here we go. So the new cattle decapitation is coming out, I think this month. Is it this month? And the pre-orders went up last month, several weeks ago. And Metal Blade is known for having a little bit more of expensive vinyls, and I'm fine with it because they are of really good quality. They often give you like cool posters, stuff like that. So, you know, the price is kind of worth it, and you end up paying about like $36 for a record. Like, for example, they just repressed a ton of Cannibal Corpse records. I have a bunch of them. They were $29.99 plus shipping, so it was like $36 per vinyl. However, the cattle decapitation vinyl, I have not pre-ordered it yet. It was $39.99. It's a double LP, I get it. But with shipping, which was like $7 or $8, it was almost a $50 vinyl. And I'm to the point now where I'm just fucking done with buying records because of that. Like, especially when they're $50. Century Media, I'm calling you out too. You're another one. Your CDs are $20 and your records are $20. Like, come on now. Get the prices down here. CDs shouldn't, you know, that's just kind of insane. And the cost of shipping makes it almost $30. So I get it. Like, some people are probably watching this that are like, wow, you're bitching a lot about this. Like, what the hell? And you probably live in like Australia or the UK, and like these like $20 bin labels are not often readily available there, and so you pay for an arm and a leg for shipping. Like, I get that, but like there are just certain things that like have made me really not like buying vinyl anymore, and that's one of them. So I have not pre-ordered the Cattle Decapitation album for that reason. I know that eventually the price will go down. They've pressed so many variants, I'm not worried about not being able to get it. I did the same thing with Death Atlas when it came out a couple years ago. It was just out of my price range for what I wanted to pay at the time. Granted, it's one of my all-time favorite bands, so I still bought the CD. Still gonna pre-order the CD for this as well. And just so I'm supporting them in some way, shape, or form. And then eventually on Amazon, and I am not proud of this, eventually on Amazon it got marked down a lot. And I ended up getting the Death Atlas vinyl for $20, like 6 or 7 months after the release. So I'm a bargain shopper when it comes to these kinds of things, but I have heavily slowed down. I know it doesn't seem like it too much. I have collection updates, but I do go a while in between my collection updates right now, and I've been primarily only buying CDs. I really like buying CDs right now. I've found some joy out of it that I didn't think I was going to get. I've slowed down on tape buying for one particular reason. Most of the time the tape is the same price as the CD, and for the quality and sound, I'm going to pick the CD. Also, I like to actually put CDs in my car. Like, there's a nostalgia run. I don't have a tape player in my car. But so I've been slowly buying CDs more. I've held off on vinyl, and like I've said, I've been thinking about selling pretty much most of my vinyl collection and only keeping the albums that I absolutely just love, that are my favorite albums of all time, and keeping my vinyl collection to only being that, and not just buying a new release every single time it comes out, and maybe just getting it on CD or something. I don't know. I just went off on a really big tangent on that question. But yes, I prefer vinyl. However, I have not been enjoying collecting vinyl lately. And I just really have stopped buying things, with the exception of a few pre-orders that have come out already this year that I've shown on this channel. So yeah, that is the second question that I've often got. The third question that I got that will probably be the most of this video is, what are the other music genres that I listen to? What are some of my favorite bands that are not metal bands? And yeah, Melanie loves a lot of classic rock is essentially what the theme of this video will probably be. I have a very large collection of classic rock, blues, jazz, CDs, records, and tapes. Probably mostly records, because I've inherited them from family members over the years, sadly after they've passed away. Or just my parents retired and I scrounged their boxes of tapes and stuff and took things that I wanted. But yeah, I was raised on classic rock. I was raised on bands like Pink Floyd and Led Zeppelin and Yes, and The Who, and Kansas, and Boston, like all of those bands. Um, my parents are just really into that kind of music as well as blues. And that's what I was raised on. It's what I've always loved, and I still listen to it a ton. And now I'm on a binge of wanting to get those albums back in my collection. So that's what I've been doing off camera. I found this YouTube channel that is just so bad for my wallet. His name is Brendan Snyder. I'm pretty sure you guys are probably very familiar with him. He has a pretty big following on YouTube. He has like 13,000 CDs or something insane like that. And it's mostly like classic rock, heavy metal, glam rock. Like it's an insane collection. He talks about a lot of bands that I grew up on. And he's got like 162 box sets and stuff like that. Like, I've been obsessed with his channel lately, and I've been watching his videos a ton. He's been around for a while. Check him out if you're looking for a different type of YouTuber that just doesn't focus on death metal or extreme metal. He calls out a lot of great bands that I think just don't get enough love anymore because of, you know, the times that we're living in. He's keeping the genres alive and all that stuff. Because I found his channel, it was always suggested to me, and I finally just checked it out a couple of months ago, and now I've just been obsessed. So shout out to Brendan Snyder. I will link in the description. Go over and comment and tell him I sent you. I'm a big fan. I would love to meet him someday. He lives out in New Jersey now. He seems like he's a really fun guy. He does these awesome videos where he goes to the record store and he just records like what he's taking out, similar to what Simon does on Explosive Action. I've been wanting to do videos like that. I might actually start doing videos like that. I might actually go today and see what I can find in my local shops. I think I'll get a good reception on that. But it probably won't just be death metal because where I live, it's not a very big death metal market in terms of the record stores. I know I'm in Tampa and it's the capital, but it's not. There's like one record store and it's like an hour away from me that is mostly focused on extreme metal, and so maybe someday I'll go there and I'll record. But yeah, anyway, he has rejuvenated my love for this music that I grew up on, and so I pulled out a bunch of stuff, and I'll show you it. So first, notably, I'm a huge Neil Young fan. I love Neil Young. I went to the Sound Exchange here in Tampa. They mostly just sell CDs, used CDs, brand new CDs. They have a very small vinyl collection. It's like hardly anything metal. I went there several weeks ago to pick up some of my all-time favorite albums, and of course I got this one for $5. I couldn't be beat. It's a practically brand new first pressing of this album. It's like it's in pristine condition, so I snagged it. They recently just issued a box set on this. I think it's like the 50th or 40th anniversary. Let's find out. I can't remember. Neil Young Harvest box set that I really want. It's 50th anniversary deluxe. There's an LP box set and there's a CD box set. The LP box set is like $150. The CD box set is like 30 or 40 bucks. Anyway, I picked this up because this is one of my all-time favorite albums by him. Obviously, it's a classic. You probably, if you know Neil Young, you know this. I love every single song on this album. Every single song. And this is one of those albums that I grew up on. My mom loves Neil Young, and my dad does too, but I always think of my mom when I hear Neil Young. He did, oh God. When I became like in love with Neil Young was a really, really, really long time ago. I remember the Grammys were on, which is not something I usually watch, but my mom is really into those types of like award shows, and she always watches the Oscars and stuff like that. And he performed, and he had the harmonica around his neck, and I'm trying to think, I feel like he did, was it in a song, was it Old Man? It might have been Old Man that he did. Yeah, I don't know. He performed that. I absolutely loved it. Kind of fell in love with him then. And yeah, so Neil Young is one of those guys that I absolutely love. I'm having some technical difficulties here. My monitor just randomly shut off. I don't know why. Hello, computer. There we go. Am I back? I'm back. I don't know what that was about. My camera, my monitor just randomly shut the hell off. What the hell, computer? Anyway, so Neil Young is one of those. And then on that same journey here, rest in peace, David Crosby. But yes, I also love Crosby, Stills, and Nash, obviously, and Young. So far, I have the original tape here that I got from my parents' collection when they retired and moved down to Florida. The tape is in pretty faded, gross, yellowed condition, but it sounds absolutely perfect. Like, you would never know it's that used. These are some of my just all-time favorite songs. Deja Vu is just one of my all-time favorite songs. What else is on here? Hopelessly Hoping is awesome. Teach Your Children. I'm sure you know that song. Like, that's a very classic Ohio, Woodstock, Our House, Helpless. Yeah, so this is like, I think this is considered a comp. And I believe the person that did the artwork, oh God, who was it now? It's there. Hold on. Let me Google it. It's somebody who's friends with the band. It's right there. Album cover. I remember seeing this a while back and was like, oh, I didn't know that. Joni Mitchell? Is that who it was? Joni Mitchell. Yeah, this is like... Yes, Joni Mitchell. She was a friend of the band, did the album artwork for this. So fun little tidbit there. So yeah. Rest in peace, David Crosby. Yeah, so there was this one. So aside from Neil Young, Crosby, Stills, and Nash, I really, really love Steely Dan. So I do have gold on tape. This is an original copy. It's in pretty rough shape in terms of the tape. It's, you know, got some yellowing and stuff, but it sounds perfect. Again, I got this from my parents' collection. But in terms of records, I also have a couple of first presses that I've inherited from my uncle, who passed away, unfortunately, last year. We've got Aja. Is that how you say it? Or Aja? I can't remember. Aja. Probably one of just the best albums ever made, period. Not even gonna lie. I love this album so much. And then I also have Gaucho. So yeah, this one's a little bit more in rougher shape, but the vinyl is like pristine, but the jacket's got a little bit of wear and tear on it. So yeah, I'm a huge fan of Steely Dan. I actually really want to get everything else, so maybe someday. And then of course, yes, I am a huge fan of Pink Floyd. This is actually mine from when I was a child. Pink Floyd, The Division Bell is one of my all-time favorite albums by them. You would think it would be Dark Side of the Moon or Wish You Were Here or The Wall, but no, it's The Division Bell. This is on a blue tape, ironically. So yeah, they started upping up the tape market here with the colors and stuff around this time. Still sounds great, plays perfectly. I also have Pink Floyd Animals on tape. This one is in really rough shape. It actually looks like it's been waterlogged, which it probably has, because my dad would bring a big like box of tapes on our boat as a kid. Yes, I was raised on a boat. We would go boating all the time. And he would bring the tapes because it had a tape player. So this looks relatively waterlogged. So yeah, that's probably from being on the boat. This album actually still sounds relatively okay. There's a little bit of fade in and fade out. But yeah, I snagged this from their collection when they retired. I probably won't ever play it. This is just more of a keepsake in that regard. And then I also have Wish You Were Here. This one actually sounds like total trash. You can still hear the music, but it's very, very low. Again, this one is in really rough shape. Also, there was a flood in my parents' basement where their stereo, like their music room, was a long time ago. And these probably were in it. So yeah, again, I took this for keepsake purposes. I do also have The Wall and Dark Side of the Moon on vinyl that I got. They're reissues though. They're not Oh no, that's not true. I do have a first press of Dark Side of the Moon. I didn't pull it though, but I got that from my aunt and uncle, and it plays fine. So yeah. So yeah, I love Pink Floyd. I also love Yes. Progressive rock is some of my favorite stuff. So I have 2 Yes tapes here. We've got Going for the One, which is one of my favorite albums by them, with a nice naked man butt on the cover. And then I've also got Yes Songs, Volume 2. So I think the first one I'm actually on the hunt for. Probably won't be too hard to find. These are actually in pretty good condition. They still sound pretty good. I got these from my parents as well. I'm a huge Yes fan. I love prog rock. Hello computer. And then to go even further, I absolutely love The Police. I've got Synchronicity, first pressing on vinyl that I got inherited. Still sounds amazing. This is one of my favorite albums, but I really do love their first, like, I just love all their albums, I'm going to be honest with you. I really love Sting. But yeah, The Police are one of my all-time favorite bands. I'm a huge Elton John fan, which is probably not surprising by anyone, but I do have one of the greatest albums ever made, Madman Across the Water. First press, sounds perfect. I actually got this from my aunt and uncle as well. The jacket's a little beat up. It's got some wear and tear, as you can see right there. Also, when they bought this, it was $3.49. The price tag is still on the jacket, if you can see that right there. Sounds amazing. It has some of Elton's best work. I have several other Elton John records that are first presses, but I pulled this one because it's my favorite. Tiny Dancer, obviously, is on here, and then Leave On are 2 of my favorite Elton John songs. So yes, I really do love Elton John. I think they just released some special edition box sets of his too, so might pull that up. I'm also a huge Van Morrison fan, and Moondance is just one of my all-time favorite albums. I inherited this one as well. This one's in pretty rough shape. It's old, man. This thing has been through the ringer. Look at that printed inner sleeve. It is brown. Printed inner sleeve here. Your limo is ready. Who was... Oh, this is actually... Ready to take you in style, a journey with some of the biggest names of rock and roll, and it's only $2 for the special 2 record set. Riding with you, selections from the latest albums from the Doobie Brothers, Fleetwood Mac, Bonnie Raitt, Leo Sayer, Alice Cooper, Little Feat, Rod Stewart, and Van Morrison. Drive It Away. Oh, so it's like a promo for this record. That's like a compilation. It was only $2. You send in $2 to them. Interesting. But yeah. And then like the super chintzy black. Like they're so thin. Still sounds perfect. But anyway, Moondance is... I love Van Morrison. I need to get more of his stuff. I think I have 1 or 2 other things here. Did I actually... I thought I pulled a Van Morrison tape, but I did not. And then finally, the last of the classic rockness. If you ever ask me, and I might actually just do a video on this someday, of my all-time favorite albums as a whole, not just in death metal, black metal, what one of my all-time favorite albums is, it is this one. Boston, the self-titled. I can't even begin to tell you how much I love this album and how obsessed with it I still am after all of these years. I don't know. This is a first pressing of the CD. It's still in perfect, pristine condition. I just, more than a feeling, peace of mind, foreplay, long time, rock and roll band, smoking, hitch a ride, something about you, let me take you home tonight. This is a flawless record, in my opinion, beginning to end. Not a single song in here I don't like. I still listen to this a ton. I've been listening to this in the car lately with my kids, and I've found that my sons really enjoy this, so job well done there, parenting. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just obsessed with this album, and of course the album cover is the acoustic guitars, which I'm sure people have never really noticed that. I don't know. Some people... I saw like a... Today I learned the Boston album cover is actually guitars in space, not UFO ships. And yeah. There you go. You can see it right there. But yeah, I absolutely love Boston. I'm not going to even deny it. I think just a lot of what they did really is heavily influenced in a lot of the heavier metal stuff that I listen to now. And then I also have this first pressing gatefold. This is in pretty rough shape in terms of the jacket, but the vinyl is still flawless and still sounds really good. So this has Don't Look Back. That's probably the one that you're most familiar with, but yeah, really love Boston. This is Don't Look Back, what it's called. So yeah, aside from all the classic rock, I do love the blues. I have a ton of Albert King, B.B. King, Cab Mo, Kenny Wayne Shepherd. I was going to say Johnny Wayne Shepherd. No. Stevie Ray Vaughan and Double Trouble. I have every single one of those albums. I'm a huge Stevie Ray Vaughan fan. Jazz. I really love smooth jazz. So I love the Rippingtons, and I love... it's blanking right now. I can't think of it right now. But anyway. But I also do have a soft spot for the 90s grunge and that Soundgarden, which I've been getting in my collection again. I went to the Sound Exchange and I picked up Super Unknown for $7. It's pretty much brand new. And then down on the upside, I finally got back in my collection. I was kind of pissed that this was a digibook, but whatever. If they've released it on jewel case, somebody let me know, because I would rather have it on jewel case. But yeah, Chris Cornell is one of my favorite music artists. I absolutely love him. I was really, really sad when he passed away. I'm sad that he's no longer making music. Yes, I loved Audioslave, and yes, I did like his solo stuff that he put out. They actually put out a box set of like a compilation of all of his music across the bands and stuff. It's kind of cool. It's kind of a nice collector's edition to get everything into one format, so I might actually pick that up someday. I love Pearl Jam. I saw them in concert here in Tampa several years ago. It was phenomenal. Eddie Vedder has an amazing voice. I absolutely love Nirvana. I don't really talk about that a whole lot, but I do love Nirvana. And yeah, I like a lot of music. A lot. I would say in regards to pop music, no. I do not listen to hardly any pop. The only pop music I listen to is what my wife and kids put on. They're very much, we have like the Echo Dots and all that shit. Our house is a AI house, basically everything. Like I've got a hub here and like all this stuff, and like it's like, hey Alexa, play. Oh, I should probably be quiet. She'll probably start playing it. And like my children just listen to music nonstop, and it's been mostly hip hop music and mostly pop dance music. My kid was Marshmallow for Halloween this year. The DJ, yes, Marshmallow, the guy that wears the helmet that looks like a marshmallow. He's 5 years old, by the way. He loves Marshmallow, and my son, my oldest son, who is 7, really, really loves hip hop music. So, and he does that, like he dances in a competitive hip hop team. Yes, he's 7. And so he's really into hip hop. That's been a little bit of a struggle because the music is just not for him in regards to the subject matter and all that stuff. So we really monitor what he listens to, but he's really into Macklemore right now. So Thrift Shop has just been playing on repeat from my child, and I'm so sick of that song. And he also really loves like Meghan Trainor and Shawn Menendez and like all these pop songs, all these pop artists that my wife listens to. She does not listen to metal. She will go to metal shows with me though if they're not death metal. So she's been like Between the Buried and Me with me. I know that's kind of death metal, but and stuff like that. But anyway, that is what I listen to that is not death metal. So I think I'm going to wrap it up there. I want to take some time to end up the episode on an album that comes out today. I'm sure you've seen this in the background. I purposely placed that, but yes, the new Majesties album is out today on 20 Bucks Spin. What's it called again? Vast Reaches Unclaimed. This is Tanner from Obsequiae. Someday I'll know how to, pronounce that band. The black metal band, one man black metal band. Also out on 20 Bucks Spin, and then Binder Recordings has has reissued some of their, I think their first album, I can't remember. Tanner is probably, just no bullshit, one of my favorite musicians right now. I love pretty much everything he touches and creates in terms of music. And so when I saw that this was coming out and I heard the first couple of singles, I was like, oh yes, this is gonna be such a good album. And I was dead on with that thinking. I don't think that it's overhyped by any means. This is pure melodic death metal. Melodic death metal, I should say, is not something that I listen to very often, in fact, ever, to be honest with you. I've never been a huge fan of At the Gates or In Flames or Dark Tranquility. In Flames, just the Jester Race. Dark Tranquility, I couldn't even name an album from them. And then At the Gates, it's only been like one of their first two albums that I really like, and after that I just never really got into it. This has definitely elements of those three bands in there, especially some of the vocal styles remind me a little bit of that, just slightly, very slightly. However, there's also some of that influence that Tanner has on here, of like of his writing styles that he does on Obsequiae. Couldn't name it an easy band name. And you definitely hear that on this. It's very much Tanner's vocal style, but it's a trio. The other members, I believe, are in another melodic black metal band. Is it melodic black metal? Or just black metal? Inexorum? Whew, doing a really bad job here. Obviously, I'm not too familiar with that side, but they're a trio out of Minnesota. It's a fantastic record. It starts off with a really nice scream that I thoroughly enjoy, and I would say the whole first side A is flawless, and side B somehow just gets better, and I absolutely love how this album ends, with Journey's End is one of my favorite songs on here that I've absolutely loved. I got this about a week ago. 20 Bucksman has been on the mark with getting this stuff early, and then I got the digital promo copy like maybe half a week before that, a couple days before I got the vinyl. So I've been listening to it nonstop this week. There's the, for you vinyl color nerds, the splatter edition. I think it goes really well with the album cover. And there's like this orange in there that just makes a nice surprise right there. But yeah, it's really good. Like I said, I'm not a huge melodic death metal fan. I don't listen to a whole lot of it, but I'm very sold on this album. It is very good. Printed inner sheet is just poking me in the eye. Lyrics and liner notes, and then the artist is a guy. His name is Juan something. I will link his name in the description, because this is phenomenal artwork as well. So yeah, this comes out today, Bandcamp Friday. Also, if you noticed, it's got, there we go, on the inside it's got a little picture there. Thought that was pretty nice touch. So yeah, Bandcamp Friday comes out today. Snag it. Let me know what you think. I think it's very good. I really love, it's been, dude, this has been stuck in my head for days. Like, I can't even, like, I'm singing it right now in my head as I'm talking. Just really, really good album. I'm very, very happy with it. I knew I was going to love it when I first heard the first couple singles that came out over the past couple of months, and it's here finally, and I'm happy, and it's great. Check it out. I'll do a little tiny snippet at the end of this video just to give you a little tiny, feel for what it is. But that's all that I have, guys. A little short rambly video today. If you have specific questions you want me to answer in another FAQ, comment below. I'll start doing these like once every couple of months. Not every day like J-Dog. Nope. But yeah, that's all I have. Have a great weekend, and I will see you in the next one.